Okay, Friday, December 2nd. It's about 2.5 hours into trading, 11 o'clock in the morning. Just thought I'd do another SPY update. You can see here from the open, we started up. We didn't get that immediate green to red reversal to test those pre-market lows, and we've rallied up a little bit. But we're still in a two-down day, and frankly, we reached a point here where we should pause. And the question will be, will we really turn this day negative or at least end up with kind of a big selling tail by the end of the day? Or are we going to kind of grind up to the midpoint of yesterday, which is the only way really to turn the day up? And I don't really anticipate that happening. So if we look at the 15-minute chart, we had that open that kind of started green, failed a little bit. We had the inside bar here. This is where I was looking at bar 3 for it to head down green to red. It didn't do it. Kind of came up a little bit, paused, and then we made a move up to yesterday's close. So what we really did was within this pre-market range, as you can see this big gap down, that was also inefficient pricing, very short term here. So we've kind of filled that all in. And if the way I'm looking at it, I think this on the 1 minute chart, when it came up to that close, that would be the area I would expect things to pause. So it looks like it's done that, and that would have been the real aggressive short, just given kind of the way I have viewed price action in the past. Now, the thing is, even though we paused at yesterday's close, structure is still a little bit up. So in order to turn this day really down, you're going to have to get a big red bar to the downside, take out really the midpoint of that first bar. And then at that point, I feel if we get some kind of big collapse and we head down there and just pause, I'd be comfortable. We're going to eventually, really get that downside action that was maybe anticipated at the beginning but never developed. So we'll see if that happens. But this is an area here where it should pause. Again, ideally, if you're going to trade it on a very short-term basis, I could see stops down here. You might, even if it's going to head higher, you might want to broaden out here first to the downside. But it is possible we keep going straight up. I mean, I don't anticipate that just given the overall market, but and just this wide range, I don't think it's ready to break through the highs of that, but it's kind of heading up there. So anyway, at the moment, I see this as kind of the pause area. We'll see if this becomes the area where the day itself kind of turns around and maybe just chops around for the rest of the day or not. But at this point, it's kind of one of those tricky days where it did gap down. And in the bigger picture, like I said, we filled in this gap down here on the daily chart, the high of that bar and the low of that bar. We were just filling that in, maybe anticipating a little bit of follow through the downside, never unfolded in the structure. And then we came up and we filled in kind of this gap. If you can picture this big bar here, this big inefficient pricing, that's what we're filling in now and pausing at the obvious area. So at this point, if you can get some kind of a red bar that really follows through the downside, that could be the end of this move for the day. But we'll just have to find out at this point and see how the rest of the afternoon goes.